Kanye West's Oval Office meeting with President Trump sparking a firestorm, just a little one.
This CNN panel, you've heard about it, before the sit-down even happened, made some pretty appalling comments about the rapper. Listen.
Kanye West is what happens when Negroes don't read. And we have this now, and now Donald Trump is going to use it and pervert it.
He's all of a sudden now the model spokesperson. He's the token Negro of the Trump administration. This is ridiculous, and no one should be taking Kanye West seriously. He's clearly has issues.
CNN delivers again. Our next guest thinks they should be taken off the air. Heisman Trophy winner and College Football Hall of Fame running back Herschel Walker joins us now. Herschel, we were talking in the green room. You said, yes, you know, you saw this panel in your home or where you were watching, and you had a human reaction to it.
Well, you know, I was really appalled. I was appalled because I thought it was insulting. I thought it was bullying, and I was bullied as a little kid. And, you know, it's strange because I said, if you look at the segment, I said, what if they had Anderson Cooper doing that segment, laughing as Don Lemon did? It would have been a total reaction. But Don Lemon is laughing, and I said, that is nothing to laugh at. That is something that they said. I thought it was degrading. And, you know, whether Kanye has something to say or not, he has his right to speak when they're always talking about freedom of speech.
And what do you think the media has gotten wrong? Because the reaction to, you know, putting aside that segment just for a second, but then what happened in the Oval Office has been universal. This was disgraceful. Kanye's being used. What is the media getting wrong, in your opinion?
You know, first of all, I think what the media have gotten wrong altogether, they forgot to respect the White House. You know, and I think that's the main thing that first started out. They got to respect the White House. I think people have not taken it already to say Donald Trump is the president of the United States. You got to respect that. And then I think the thing they gotten wrong next is to use words like that and think that that's okay. Well, it's not okay, because I said, you look at the people that was on that segment, and I said, that is not right to do. It's not right, and I think something need to be done.
They haven't been disciplined or anything. But
at the same time, they forgot about to talk about it. You have not seen CNN talk about it anymore. They've totally dropped it, went on to something that he said in the White House. And my next question I say is, at least he's doing something. My mom always said, if you got nothing good to say absolutely nothing. And I think that's what has happened. I've not seen any of them in the White House when the president has asked many people, if you got something to say, come see me. And I haven't seen them there.
Do you think it's because he's supporting a conservative and he's supporting, of all conservatives, Donald Trump? I mean, in and of itself is the sticking point here. I mean, you look at the reception, right, of Taylor Swift, and they were thrilled that Taylor took a stand, but Kanye West isn't allowed to?
Well, and I think that's the problem. If you have anything to say good about this president, you're going to be demonized. And I think that's what's wrong. And, you know, I supported the president when he first came out. You know, I know the man. I've known him for years, and I stand behind him. And I said, I don't care what anyone says. I know the type of guy he is. I know he's not a racist. I know he's not this. But one of the things I said people have gotten wrong, I've never heard Donald Trump say, I'm trying to do something great for China. I'm trying to do something great here. He's done so many great things for this country, and without anyone trying to help him. You have everyone on the left, everyone is trying to stop what he's trying to do. And look at the things he's done. And not just that, if we just erase everything, to get people released to come home, he's got so many people released to come home, I think is a win-win for this administration.
By the way, I grew up idolizing you. I hate to be a fanboy right now, but University of Georgia, Heisman Trophy, and New Jersey Generals, right? That's how you got to know Donald Trump. But you said something a moment ago that struck me that's unrelated. You were bullied as a kid?
Yes.
I saw you running people over on the football field. Do you ever go back to those guys who bullied you?
No, I don't. And you know, I probably would thank him. I probably would thank him because, you know, and then another thing you may not know, and, you know, they talked about Kanye's mental health. A lot of people don't know I spent time in a mental health hospital. When I got out of football, I never drank, never taken a drug, but I had an anger problem. And I checked myself in a behavioral health hospital. And today, you look at the things I'm doing today, is so much better, more than I've ever done in my whole life. So I take offense to that as well, but I was bullied as a little kid.
Very cool. Herschel Walker, we appreciate you coming in and giving your thoughts so clearly.
And I love Ed Henry, but if you want to host for him sometime, you can do that.
I thought you were going to say I love Ed Henry, but if you want to beat him up or something.
I'm still trying to get over the shoes. I was like, maybe they'll match my coat.
We got some shoes we're going to show later. They're blue.
Thank you very much.
More Fox and Friends on the other side.
Man.
Liberal media melting down over Kanye's meeting with President Trump on Thursday. Here's some of what Kanye had to say.
There was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. The liberal would try to control a black person through the concept of racism because they know that we are very proud, emotional people. The problem is illegal guns. Illegal guns is the problem. Not legal guns. We have the right to bear arms. We have to bring jobs into America because our best export is entertainment and ideas. But when we make everything in China and not in America, then we're cheating on our country.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty impressive.
But the mainstream media has been hating on Kanye ever since he came out as a Trump supporter. Here to react, political commentators Rob Smith and Wendy Acefo. Rob, does that offend you, some of the language that CNN used?
It absolutely offends me. It's disgusting. And looking at that clip, I would say Don Lemon went from an anchor at CNN to the chief overseer on the Democratic plantation, because what he did was he corralled Kanye West back in using disgusting language, him, Tara Setmeyer, and Bakari Sellers. It's disgusting to me, and what they're doing is they're trying to send a message to any other black American, to any other black conservative that supports the president, that this is what we will do to you if you are vocal about that support.
Wendy, what do you think about that?
My problem with Kanye is not the fact that he wants to support Donald Trump because he has the right to. My problem is that he was given the ability to go to the Oval Office and he basically performed in ignorance. And what I mean by that is the fact that when he went there, he could have talked to Donald Trump about what's going on in Chicago. He could have talked about stop and frisk. He could have asked Donald Trump, why did he cut mental health reform and why else did he cut education? But he did not. He used that time to basically be a minstrel show and pound on the table.
I completely disagree.
Minstrel show is a strong word.
And it's fine for you to disagree, but this is what I also think. I think that the conservative party, the GOP, has to decide when is it okay for black athletes and performers to either shut up and dribble or them to become the beacon of hope for your party, because you can't have it both ways.
Wendy, he actually did bring up stop and frisk. He said he doesn't like stop and frisk and told the president that he should knock it off. But go ahead.
And for you to call it a minstrel show, you are doing what every other black person is doing right now to anybody who dares to espouse
That's not true.
conservative. You did. You just did it. And first of all, Kanye West talked about a lot of different things. He talked about the relationship between black people and the police. He talked about basically supporting the president. He talked about making America great right now.
You can support the president, but you do not have to use foul language while you're in the Oval Office. You can support the president, but you should not bang on the table in the Oval Office. So why you're trying to sit here and demean it, so it doesn't make any sense.
President Bill Clinton did some pretty indecent things in the Oval Office. Let's not act like we're all pure.
And I don't actually remember all of this outcry when Rick Ross was in the White House and his ankle bracelet went off.
Actually, I don't remember all of this outcry when LeBron James called out the president of the United States, but then you guys said all he should do is he should shut up and dribble. So again, I want to ask you, do you want black athletes and entertainers to shut up and dribble, or do you want them to become your new mascot like you're trying to do for Kanye West? Because you cannot have it both ways, sir.
It's not about black people shutting up and dribble. What it's about is black people having a seat at the table. What you want to do is you want to make it so controversial for any black person to have anything to do with this administration.
That's
you want
not
to make
true.
an example out of
well,
him.
let's talk about facts. The facts are only 8% of black people voted for
right
Trump.
Now. You can't
and
stop
that's
it.
fine.
Don Lemon can't stop it, and anybody else cannot stop it right now. Whether you call it a minstrel show or not.
You can vote for Trump if you want to, but you should not vote for someone who undermines black and brown communities on a daily basis.
To you.
Wendy, Rob, healthy debate. We got to run. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks.
Joining me with reaction is Candace Owens, Communications Director for Turning Point USA. Candace, it really turns out that they cannot accept anyone who disagrees with them, who has any affinity for or any agreement with President Trump. Who's the intolerant one now, Candace?
They are absolutely intolerant, but I'll say this, most especially, to add to your statement, most especially black people. The Democrats rely on our vote. If they secured 85% of our vote, they would lose. So they need to achieve more than 85% of the black vote to sustain their party. So they have gone through great lengths to smear Kanye West. And what they said last night was not only racist, it was absolutely despicable. And I cannot believe that it would be allowed on any network, least of all having a host that's laughing as if it's funny.
Yeah, the entire panel kind of just went on with that. Imagine if a conservative host had a guest on who said something like that and laughed. There would be calls for boycotts. I mean, I got in trouble with poor old LeBron James, I was just teasing him. It's like, oh, you can't say. But it's like you can't joke, but they can say the most horrific things possible, and you're shut down. What does this mean, though, for the Democrat Party? I think they're worried, are they not, Candace? I mean, you've broken through in your own way in politics. You just kind of came on the scene with Turning Point USA. There are other people who are coming forward saying, the demonization of Donald Trump and the Republicans, God, the economy is doing really well. I mean, the market's down today, but, this kind of stuff happens. But the stuff's going pretty well, and these people seem really angry all the time. It kind of doesn't compute at some point.
Well, the anger is masking their insecurity. They are terrified. They were not predicting this. They had no idea that there was any chance that conservatives might come after the cultural war. They won the cultural war a long time ago. So for Kanye West to stand up and to say that I support Donald Trump, that terrifies them. So they're going to say whatever they can to smear him, to make sure that no other black people wake up and understand that it has been the left that has harmed our community. It has been Democrat policies that have rendered our communities in the shape that they are in today when we talk about Chicago and Philadelphia and all the major cities that they have run down. Black people are having a mass awakening, and Kanye West is a big part of the reason why.
Now, you've met with Kanye West. I guess you're going to meet him tomorrow before his lunch with President Trump. You guys struck up something about friendship. What is it with him and Trump? Is it just, they're pals? Is there a path toward, criminal justice reform, prison reform, other work they might do to get kids out of gangs? Like, what's the collaboration there?
Look, I don't want to speak for him, but I will tell you my assessment of it after having several conversations with him. First and foremost, Kanye is very educated about the Democrat Party and the history of the Democrat Party. Beyond that, Kanye West really does believe in uniting both sides and going forward. We know the left, they want to make sure that everybody is separate. They want to keep the themes of racism alive. They like fear-mongering. Kanye West is not about any of those things. He really wants to see a world that is better than the world that we were in yesterday, and he sees a unique opportunity in Donald Trump because he sees that our president is courageous. He's willing to say the things that need to be said, and we haven't had that, certainly not for the last 8 years when Barack Obama was in office.
I think they're terrified of Kanye West, so it's like he's crazy, he belongs in an insane asylum. They don't want to actually argue about the thing, which is the failures of the Democrat Party, Candace. All right, Candace, give us an update after your meeting tomorrow with Kanye.
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.